Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the last two matches of the season against Hoffenheim and against Mönchengladbach, and our last chances at securing European football with Hertha Berlin. And this is the team that's hopefully going to do that. We are jumping straight in today, so if you didn't watch yesterday's episode, have a look at that one before coming back here and watching the last two games of this season. We've got Castells in goal. We've got a back four of Valdez, Delport, Kabak and Jaeger. We've then got Nahaus and Traore in the midfield. Cavarat and Techahoa on the wings with Luca and Penna up front. Penna stepping in today as Maxi Gomez is injured. We've also got some tired players. We've got a few players who aren't entirely fit. We're going to just have to make the best of it we can and hopefully here get a good result against Hoffenheim, because if we don't, that's European qualification dream completely over. Of course, if you do enjoy today's episode, please do drop a like down below, and if you're not already, why not subscribe to the channel as well? We've got lots of fun content on the channel, including this series which is uploaded daily. But enough of that, as we are through on goal. Cavarat trying to get us a goal ahead with inside the first 15 minutes. That would be an absolute blessing at this point against Hoffenheim. Now House going to take the resulting corner though into that far post, but nothing coming of that one. Cavarat going to pick up the resulting loose ball and launch that one into the box as well. Ozan getting the ball, retaining possession, but nothing coming of that one. And we are just going to hit early crosses in this match, which is what I was just changing. I do remember in the build-up being told that this team were a bit susceptible to crosses from deep, so hopefully we can trouble them a little bit by hitting those early crosses. Obviously Luca, a very tall player, we've seen him score a lot of decent goals this season off of set pieces and just open play with his head. At the moment though, Hoffenheim are a little bit all over us. We're ahead on possession, but they are getting more shots off, obviously hitting us on the counter. Penna here though, we are trying to do the same. He's launched it forward to Techahoa. Can Techahoa get across into the box? It's kind of to the outside of the box, but Penna's dropped a bit deeper, come back and got it. Traore now back into Penna, forcing the Hoffenheim goalkeeper into it. A fantastic save there, I must admit. And now Traore going to take the resulting corner into the far post again. It's a good save once again by the Hoffenheim goalkeeper. Nothing coming of that resulting loose ball there. And we are knocking on the door, but not getting any result here. Hoffenheim with a cross into the box off of that corner as well. And again, they are not managing to knock down our defensive door either here. Valdez with a throw-in now. Penna picking that one up. Cavarat dilly-dallying around on the ball a little bit too long. And now Hoffenheim have regained possession. We've put in a good tackle of our own now. And now we can go on the counter-attack. Penna once again dropping deep to get that one back over to Traore. Traore now launching the ball forward, but it's just a little bit too far for us to do anything with. And Hoffenheim are going to be able to build a counter-attack from the back here. Very slowly doing so until there's that big ball forward, which seems to be the way with a lot of the clubs in Germany that we're playing against. Is just a very slow sort of build up. Obviously the Gegenpress is a German invention, and apparently losing games and being absolutely awful at managing teams is a Edworthy YouTube invention. We are having the worst couple of weeks on the channel after very successful spells with both Blythe, Spartan and Barnsley. We've moved clubs, gone to Manchester City, and that seems to have completely derailed everything. We cannot get a win regardless of what club we're at the moment. It's getting a little bit ridiculous, and Hoffenheim are just all over us here. They shouldn't be all over us. We were, according to the media prediction at the start of this season, we were predicted to finish second. Now, I know some of this damage was done when we got here, but if anything, I think we've made it probably worse. There's just absolutely no direction with any of the teams, and I've got to complete this. It's just... Welcome to the YouTube channel that does Football Manager, where the guy managing them is absolutely shit at managing football teams. I mean, it's a form of entertainment, I guess, if you just like watching someone and going, oh dear Lord, what are you doing? by all means, comment down below, berate me, tell me I'm awful, and you know, if you've got any suggestions on what the hell it is I'm doing wrong, let me know. I don't know if FM22, is anyone finding FM22s a lot harder? Because I've never had this much trouble managing football teams on any of the previous FMs. I've probably played really, really regularly, which I mean a couple of thousand hours as a bare minimum across everything since sort of FM18. I've played quite a bit before that, but I've regularly played every installment since FM18, and I've never ever had this sort of trouble managing a football team. And I do think maybe I need to stop playing it as a streamlined version and start actually diving in a bit more to the analysis and all the in-depth stuff, and maybe that will help a little bit, because it's definitely less plug and play this year in terms of once you've built a tactic and bought the right players, you can't sort of stick with a tactic, because that does not seem to be working. It seems I'm going to have to adjust to every single team. Now we've hit the bigger league, so we've hit the Premier League, and we've obviously now hit the Bundesliga. We need to be adjusting for each team we are playing, because this is just not working. This is some lovely football from us, by the way, although we don't seem to be actually getting anywhere near the Hoffenheim goal. Tetra Hoa now to Traore to Penna, who's going to try and change that. Penna through on goal. That's just awful, really, isn't it? That's not exactly league winning or European qualifying form, and today's episode could be over quicker than it began. Obviously, if we don't win this one, there's not a lot of point us seeing the match against Mönchengladbach. I think instead, the second half of this episode, we probably have a look at the season review and how poorly we have done, because there's nothing to play for once we lose this match. We need to win this match, at least draw this match, but realistically win this match in order to have any chance of qualifying for those European positions. And right now we don't look like we are anywhere near doing that. We are going to take Penna off and bring on Gomez, even though he is injured. He's well enough to play a little bit of football. Cavarat, do you know what? I'm very tempted to sell Cavarat in the summer, because I'm yet to see him have a decent game. He seems to have awful game after awful game after awful game, and I just feel like I can either play Schubert there, or I can bring in someone who's a little bit more capable on that side, because I don't know if he's just very inconsistent. He's apparently, at least on attributes, the best player we have at the squad, and yet that's his preferred position, that's how he wants to play, and he doesn't seem to be able to play there, and he's worth a lot of money. So if he's going to play like crap, I'm going to sell him, cash in, and buy someone who won't play as awfully, and get someone who will actually play a little bit better, or if not, just play some of our youth team. Hoffenheim with a free kick here. Castells is going to save that one to prevent them going 2-0 up. But honestly, at this point, we are not providing any sort of attacking threat. We don't look like scoring. We do look like conceding, to be fair. Luka has managed to regain that ball, and now I was going to say we're going to launch a counter-attack, but apparently not. Luka with a free kick here. Can we put this one in? He's hit the post. That is unlucky, to be fair. It's fallen back to Luka. Delport in the box now, trying to get it back over to make something off of that one. But it's just been cleared long by Hoffenheim. And I don't think we're going to get anything out of this game. I do wonder as well, if we don't qualify for Europe, we have managed to pull one back here. Akomak has managed to get a goal back, drawing us 1-1. But I do wonder if we don't qualify for Europe even. Obviously, the board wanting us to qualify for the Champions League, which was top 3, and was a big ask, to be fair, given where they were when we got here and the quality of this team versus the rest of the league. But I wonder if we don't qualify at all for Europe, if we get fired for the second time this week on YouTube. It's entirely possible that we get another sacking. Because I don't know, if you're expecting Champions League football and you don't even get the Europa League, do you just go, oh, that was a poor choice of manager, that was a poor 4 or 5 month experiment, let's get rid of him before he brings in a team during the summer, because I don't think we can risk him for another season. It is possible. Gomez here on the turn. Neuhaus now to Benario. Can we call one back here? Oh no. Oh, again, if we score that one, the last game of the season, perhaps very, very different. But as it is, we don't score that one, we miss that one, and we just continue our bad form. I can't put it all down to tactics. Obviously, you know, the amount of good positions we get ourselves in, you do need to actually put the ball away occasionally. I'm obviously not in control of what's happening with the ball at your feet, and 52 points now, as we can see, 4 points outside of Europe, nothing left to play for in the last game. So we are going to skip over the last game. We'll come back in the second part of this episode with the season review, and we'll have a look at what we need to do in the summer to rebuild this team and make them Bundesliga winning. Okay, so we are back for the end of season review bits and bobs as we head into our second season with Hertha Berlin. Obviously, as we've just seen, we have missed out on Europe, and now it's time to dust ourselves off and look ahead to next season. We start off with the best 11, which we can see there's a couple of players that are currently in the squad in there. There's Cucurella, Ozan Kabak is obviously still at the club, Egerstein still here as well, Kavarat, Akahomak is here. The rest of them, players that I'm not aware of. Maybe if you are a Hertha Berlin follower, supporter, or just in the know with the Bundesliga, some of those might make a little bit more sense to you. We have then got the actual season review. Let's have a look at this. New arrivals this season: Maxi Gomez, 13 appearances, 12 goals, 2 assists and a 7.37 rating. I think that has to go down as a very, very successful signing for us, and I think, at least I hope, he can be all important for us next season. Lorenzo Luca obviously came in this season as well. 36 appearances, 19 goals, 7.22. That was a signing made before we got here, but very successful as well. Dino Courage is a signing we made. He hasn't ended up making a lot of appearances, although a lot of that was due to the fact that he was injured for quite a lot of the season, which really hasn't helped him. We've then got Florentino Pena, who is showing up as coming from Hertha Berlin, but actually it's just because he originally went into the reserve squad and I instantly called him up to the first squad, which makes that all a little bit confusing. But £23 million, only 6 appearances and 3 goals. He needs to be starting to progress a little bit next season, I think. We've then got Linton Miner coming from Bayer Leverkusen, a player who will be somewhere in the side, and I don't remember seeing since I got here. He must be there somewhere, but I've just taken literally no notice of him. Catalin Stan coming in as well for 1.9 million. Another one not made a huge amount of appearances, but hopefully can start progressing as the next season goes on. We've then got Alberto Meliero come in from Tottenham Hotspur for 8.75 million as well. Not played a huge amount of games yet, but I think he might start getting a little bit more game time next season. Stefan Jaeger also came in this season from Stuttgart for £5 million. We've got Ludwig. Ludwig is, for me, I think, I don't know who spent 8.25 million on him. It wasn't me, but I think they are nuts because he is not worth that. Dusan Sat Bell, obviously £550,000, well worth that. He is just here as an emergency backup. As we can see, he's never going to be a first team player, but he's still got 15 finishing. He can come on and make a little bit of a difference if we do need him to at the end of games. Gianluca Itier came in from Hoffenheim for £25 million. He's another one who spent £25 million on him. Seriously, 9 appearances, but he is not a £25 million player, surely. We can see that by his value as well, 9 to 9.8 million. Whoever spent £25 million on him is a absolute nutter. Ron Schallenberg, another one. How much did they spend on this guy? £17 million. He's just not good enough for the team. He's just not good enough at all. And we've then got Robin Zentner as well, coming from Real Madrid for £900,000. I don't think he's got a game yet. He has not made any appearances. He probably never will either. don't think he's good enough for the team even remotely. As it mentions at the top here though, we did suffer a bit of a disappointing campaign. We were obviously expected to finish second, and yet here we are down in 7th. No European football next season, and that might affect players at the club wanting to leave. We obviously saw a similar thing happen with Manchester City. Europa League, we expected to reach the quarter-final. We got knocked out in the second knockout round, but we did get knocked out by Manchester City. You're obviously quite a big team to be facing, really. In the DFB Pokal, the board wanted us to reach the semi-final, but we'd already been knocked out by the time we got here, so there wasn't a huge amount we do about that. We've then had our biggest win was a 6-0 win against Darmstadt. Match to remember, a 3-1 win against RB Leipzig, which was back in December, so before our time. Goal of the season was Tetra Hoa against Chelsea, which I think was the first goal of the second leg, maybe. Or it could have been the first. We'll have a look at that one now. Let's see. Have a look at this. It was Valdez over to Luca into a Traore. We obviously would have seen this on the channel. Tetra Hoa blasting that goal home from range. Fantastic. We'll just exit that. We don't want to see all the goals. Finances. Team struggles on the pitch haven't helped out the club's financial position. Sponsorship is down, broadcast revenue is down, corporate hospitality is down, competition prize money is down, and matchday commercial and retail. Gomez, Ilias, I never remember who Ilias is. It's someone. Neuhaus, Cavarat and Traore, the main merchandise sellers. This is how we then lined up. We've got Castells, Cucurella, Delport, Kabak, Akicek. I don't think he's ever played in that position. Oh no, he would have played in that position, but obviously before we got it, which is why I'm not recognising him, because he's obviously now at Man United. Neuhaus, Raybrigger, Cavarat, Akomak, Luca and Gomez. We didn't win any accolades this season, which is unsurprising. Our fans player of the season was Florian Neuhaus. The young player of the season was Ilias Akamak. That's who Ilias is. I don't know why it always shows his first name. Signing of the season was Maxi Gomez. Goal of the season we did just see. Top goal scorer was Lorenzo Luca with his 19 goals. The most assists coming from Cucurella on the left wing side with 10 assists. We've then got Lorenzo Luca with the most player of the match awards. The highest average rating actually goes to Akamak out on that right hand side. And most passes completed goes to Ozan Kabak, who was playing as a ball playing defender. Next Gen, as we can see, was won by Tetra Hoa, which is what I mentioned last episode, and the under 19, I'm assuming that's player of the year in Germany, also going to Tetra Hoa. We have then got the board expectations as well. So the club culture has changed very, very slightly. They want us to still develop players using the club's youth system and assign players under the age of 23 for the first team. But they also want us to play direct football and make the most of set pieces, which is something we're going to try and do next season. We've then got a 5-year plan of working within a wage budget, minimum of 3-year contracts, maintain the best youth system in the country and the world. But at the end of next season, I want us to qualify for the Europa League and grow the club's reputation. And from there, it's become recognised the best of the rest. And we will confirm that. The only thing I am going to just try and get rid of is, can we get rid of direct football? No, we can't. Okay, we're just going to have to go with that in that case. Squad dynamics update. Nothing very interesting going on there, and we've then got the end of season meeting. Let's just say we're disappointed that we failed to qualify for the Champions League this season, given how important it is. There'll be some changes around it, but we only expect to qualify for the Europa League. Yep, all the team are happy with that. I'm happy with that, because hopefully if the team are happy with that, the majority of them will want to stay and not leave. That's the idea anyway. The squad obviously now going on their end of season break. Now, looking ahead to next season, this is the tactic I want to be using. What I am about to change is just the passing directness to slightly more direct in that case. Maybe slightly more direct and a higher tempo will probably fit the club culture a little bit more. But this is what I'm hoping to use. It's a positive 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. As we can see, we've got 2 centre-backs. So removing the need for a ball-playing defender, especially if we're going to be playing more direct. It doesn't really make sense to be having someone who's going to be passing the ball in a more tiki-taka style like we were last season. We've got 2 wing-backs on either side. The goalkeeper's changed to a sweeper keeper, so he can be a bit more attack minded. We've then got the halfback here. As we can see with the halfback, the whole point of a halfback, if you've never used one, is that he works as an aggressive sweeper and a defensive midfielder. Basically drops deeper, protects the back four a little bit better, which is what I feel like we were missing last season, and also quickly recycles the possession, so gets the ball forward, which again works really well if we're going to be playing direct. We've then got a box-to-box midfielder, so someone who can shutter in between the lines, and just a generic central midfielder. On either side, we've got inverted wingers and then a pressing forward as well. In terms of instructions, it looks like this. We are still working the ball into the box, although that might change now that we're going a bit more direct potentially. We're telling the goalkeeper to roll it out to either the centre backs or the full backs. When we've lost possession, we're going to be counter pressing it and counter when we win it back, and distributing quickly in order to launch those counter attacks as well. Playing with a high defensive line and line of engagement with an early, more often trigger press. Now obviously with this, we need to have a look at the personnel. Goalkeeper is prime candidate for improvement this season. We definitely need to bring someone else in there, and at the moment Castells won't re-sign a new contract, so he's going to be leaving anyway. I think we need some improvement, possibly at left back and at right back, and potentially at centre back as well if we can do it. And here I feel like we need someone better, is a defensive midfielder. In the second half of the pitch, I think we're okay in central midfield, out on the left, the right and up front, so it is very much build from the back for the season ahead. What we don't know currently, and I am going to try and find out before the end of this video, is this: the transfer budget. That's fractionally more than I was expecting, given that the board has said a £29 million transfer budget and we failed to actually reach their objectives. £80 million as a transfer budget. It's really, really nice of them. But now I need to go away and work out exactly how I'm going to spend that money. We will be back with tomorrow's episode and the transfers done, and probably the first match of the season as well for you to have a look at. If you have enjoyed today's episode and you want to support the channel, please do drop a like down below. And if you haven't already, maybe you're new, maybe you've just not got round to it yet, pop down below, hit the subscribe button, join the channel. It's completely free, of course, but we upload this series daily. And if you hit the notification bell, YouTube will remind you every time we upload it, so you can follow along as we try and rebuild Hertha Berlin ready for next season. Thank you very much for watching today though, guys. Have a look at the net content that's over on the end screen after this, and I will see you for tomorrow's episode. Bye bye.